And welcome on in, everybody, to another edition of the WyoNation Round Up. I am your host, Chad Smith, and today I am joined by Mr. Brad Reed.
Howdy, guys.
Shea Foster on the bottom.
How's it going?
Doing well. And so welcome into this WyoNation Roundup. And we are smack dab in December, boys and girls. So, you know what Santa wants you to do? He wants you to like and subscribe to the WyoNation channel here on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you know when we are going live, because there is just news coming thick and fast in the world of Wyoming athletics. And it's only going to get sped up here because of this crazy, crazy system that we have in college football with how everything is set up. So welcome on in. Tonight we're going to talk wrestling, basketball, football. And we will start with wrestling here. Shea, tell us about how the Cowpokes did at their tournament in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the CKLV. This is probably the toughest in-season tournament in the country, even though the bigger teams didn't come this year, but finished 7th as a team overall. And this is kind of there was a breakout for Luke Wilshell. Gabe Wilshell's little brother had 2 really good matches on Friday. I think Saturday, maybe the lights got to him a little bit, true freshman. Hey, welcome to the show. And he didn't probably wrestle the best he could have. And I think he understands that. So it was good to see. Eddie did medical forfeit out of his 3rd place match, but I don't think it was anything serious. It's December and a wrestling season that goes till March. So it's okay to hold some guys out. But, and Christian Carroll, I was concerned that I was like, maybe it's not going to be big enough, but man, that guy put on a show at heavyweight.
He had an outstanding tournament at heavyweight. The match that got posted up on Twitter today was, geez, what a match that was. Just dominant.
So somebody was in the stand. Some lady was like yelling at Carroll. And then Carroll got the takedown on the edge of the mat, and some dude that was sitting like literally a chair over from her just started clapping super loud and like cheering got Carroll. And I don't know who that guy was. I couldn't tell if he was wearing Wyoming stuff. I just thought it was so funny that somebody was trolling the lady right next to him.
Good. Yeah, it was really cool to see Christian Carroll have, a really good tournament. Build a little momentum headed into this weekend. The Willichells, good tournament. Joey, good tournament. So encouraging performance from the boys for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. 0 guys on day 2 at CLPV. So it's good just to even have guys on day 2 at this point.
Yeah, so I guess how would you judge the performance? 7th place, like pretty good, considering how things are going right now?
I think they should have been a 5th place team. I think top 5 was within their reach, but when you have guys kind of miss out on matches they probably should have won or been more competitive in, and you're like, if you're getting pinned by teams above you, those bonus points start running away from you in the team race. So stuff like that probably cost them a 5th place finish, but overall I think everybody was happy. At least they showed intensity. Even the losses, guys were wrestling hard.
I think we had a couple overtime losses too, right? That kind of could have flipped either way.
Yeah, there was a couple matches that flip either way. And Wyoming's notorious for this. I don't know why. They'll give out late takedowns in periods, and it totally flips the momentum of the match. Mm-hmm. So if they could kind of clean that up, they were definitely a top 5 team at this tournament.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at the rankings lately, but the team is up to 18th in the tournament, or was it? 18th in the team tournament rankings. So they started off in the 20s, I think.
Yeah, the dual rankings aren't great, which means they're not very high on the rest of the lineup, but it's early in the season.
It's early in the season. There's not been a lot of duels yet, so
yeah, so it'll be okay.
And then, like when they go to Vegas, where are these usually held at? Like what kind of facilities?
It was in a hotel, like a conference room.
Like in a ballroom?
It used to be, It used to be at their conventions. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Vegas, but the convention center in Las Vegas is massive.
Yeah.
There's a few halls in it, and they used to be there. So I don't know, maybe it got too expensive. Maybe you just get all the teams in a hotel and you get a good deal, because I'm assuming Wyoming spent $30,000 to probably attend the tournament. It's not a cheap tournament, but the exposure and the matches you get, it's probably chump change compared to other tournaments. So,
Zach is in the building and he has a question for you.
ooh,
Oh, Penn State, is that this weekend or is it the weekend after?
Saturday.
It's Saturday. Okay, so good. A good question.
Saturday, 6 p.m. Yeah.
Now, they moved it to the AA, right?
Yeah, it will be at the AA. And they did have a thing going on. Coach Ashworth hit me up about it, that it was $20 tickets. I don't know if it's still going on. And then maybe back up to $25. But Matt's side, there was still some left, and it was only $100 to sit Matt's side at that duel. So that's cheap compared to other teams, let me tell you.
Sure.
I don't know if you're stealing anything. I expect wins, and I know Eddie is not ranked as high as Rocco Welsh for Penn State, but I expect wins at 84 through heavyweight for Wyoming. And those wouldn't be steals to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're getting an upset, you're getting an upset, well, except for Joey, because Joey's got what? He's got the 10th ranked guy, Connor Mirasola.
Yeah.
Then Christian Carroll would be an upset of the other brother, the other Mirasola. Yeah, maybe. Man, Gabe's got a tough draw too with the number 1 seed.
If you're really looking at it, you could see
Riley
maybe Luke.
Davis too.
Yeah, you could see. Yeah, Riley's facing like the Hodge favorite. You could see maybe Luke upsetting Marcus, just because you have 2 young guys that could. That's where you could probably flip something. Is at 133. Hey, look, it's wrestling. Anything can happen.
Sure. And then I guess where's Penn State right now? Are they like a top 5 team?
Top 1 team.
That's the best team. Yeah.
So they're number 1
again. Yeah.
They could bring their backups and maybe beat Wyoming in a duel.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to get viewers out there who don't know, right? So this is the number 1 wrestling team in the country coming to Laramie. So
multiple times, they're what, like 5-6 years running national champions now, something like that.
Last 8 and 9 they've won.
Yeah, just insane run that they're on. Probably never been done before, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is it? I mean, I know they've always been good, but in this NIL era, are they just paying people?
Stockpiling talent.
Yeah.
They have an NIL coordinator for their team.
Okay. And I guess a naive question for me, is there like roster limits in wrestling? I'm guessing maybe not.
30.
30? That's 30. A big number. Yeah.
Well, it's not. Number. That's 10 weights. So it's not a ton.
So 3 scholarships per weight if you balanced it, which most teams probably don't, right?
Well, they don't get, you only get 9.9 scholar. Well, I don't know how all the stuff's changed anymore. It used to be 9.9 scholarships, but with NIL and I don't know what
that's true. Scholarships don't matter because you could just be getting paid and not be on scholarship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I will say Wyoming's new facility will be better than Penn State. So all the recruits, if you guys ever watch this, Wyoming's facility will be better than Penn State's wrestling facility.
Yeah. Which is exciting. Yeah, I can't wait. We'll have to, I bet we can get something set up, Shea, to where we get a tour of that thing when they open it up.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
We'll do our own UW cribs.
Exactly. Record it and make it a show. They would do that for us for sure, especially because they love Shea. The wrestling coaches love Shea because Shea is, he's about as hardcore as they come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, make sure you guys follow Adam because he writes really good stories too for the team.
Yeah. No, it's great to see. Right. Is it the Casper paper? Right, getting a wrestling.
Yeah. No, he's the Cheyenne paper.
Oh, he's a Cheyenne. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Because he was hired specifically to cover like the Olympic sports that just don't get as much coverage. So
yeah, it's good.
Now we're getting more of that out there.
Good volleyball, soccer, right? Is doing good. Mm-hmm. Swimming. So
yeah, there's good teams at Wyoming that don't get coverage, so it's nice to have.
Yeah,
Wyoming.
I mean, cross country had a really good year. this fall?
Geez, even last year I was just like, man, we ought to be talking about more women's basketball. They're kind of on a heater too, but it's just there's just finite number of cycles that we have to like talk about and watch things. So
Yeah.
So no good news on the. And then I guess for people who can't make it to Laramie, is there going to be like is Flow Wrestling or someone going to stream this? Is the university going to stream this?
So the past 2 years, the duels have been on the Mountain West Network.
Okay, yeah, I think all our home duels. Yeah, I think you've told me that.
All the home duels. I have not seen it posted yet. So if
Okay.
it's not on there, it will be on Flow 100%.
mm-hmm.
But the past 2 years, all the home duels have been free on the Mountain West Network.
Okay, great. So we'll monitor that. I guess
take a
maybe
look,
hopefully tomorrow, with it being Thursday and it closer, it will pop up on there.
Yeah. So if that's the case, that'd be perfect for viewership. Even though I'd love the Penn State fans to have to pay $29 to Flow Wrestling because they make me pay for the Big Ten Network to watch duels.
Yeah.
So, but it's exciting.
Great. Yeah. Any other wrestling tidbits the world should know?
No, it's a quiet time now. Recruiting's kind of slowing down, and signees now they'll have this duel, and this will be it until the new year. I mean, the backups will go to a tournament, but this will be it until after the new year for the team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
good to know. So, all right. Thank you. There is your Wyoming wrestling update. And now we'll slide on over to basketball, who's coming off a really impressive showing last night. They got over the flu, thankfully, it seemed, playing at the pace and tempo that we've seen so far this year. And they beat South Dakota, a team that they lost to last year, mind you, on the road. So this was the return trip. And let me make sure I've got the score pulled up here, right? I've got the press release from today. We got a couple of things that kind of jumped out to me. Your final score
106.79.
That sounds right, but I don't know why it's not popping up on here.
yeah, I think so.
I'm looking at the story of it.
Okay, very good. So yeah, 106.79, and a lot of stuff that they put in the post-game notes that I didn't see. But I guess we should start the talk with true freshman Naz Meyer, career high 28 or 26. Let's see here. Where is he on this damn thing? I think he's down here. 26. It's the most points by a freshman for Wyoming since 32 scored by Graham Ike in 2021. So how about that for a note?
That's a great game for a freshman, but that's a great game for Naz Meyer. Like, he's already got a couple Freshman of the Week awards under his belt, so I can't imagine he wouldn't see that again this week.
Mm-hmm. Really impressive. Some other notes that UW released on here that I find very interesting is we are second in the nation in bench scoring. So I think that really shows that Sundance Wicks has built a team, and we've talked about this time and time again, right? He had more time to recruit, and he has, right, a system in his mind, and they recruit to that system by looking at analytics. And he's brought in the right guys, and we have multiple guys. It also said in the post-game notes that this is the fourth time this season we've had a different player score over 20. So I think Brian put it really well, I think last week, that it was last year, if you shut down Agbem, you beat Wyoming. Well, this year, you shut down one guy, well, there's three other guys capable of stepping up and being a primary scorer. And that's really, really hard on teams.
Well, and looking at the stats from this week, Demarion Dennis had a career high of 21 points. So, another guy just out there pouring in points for us.
Yeah.
I like watching him play. He's one of my favorite. He's an all-around guy. Like, he'll get dirty as a guard.
Yeah. And that's their profile, guard-wise, is finding all-around guys who play defense, guys who could rebound.
Hustle.
I think, I'd have to look at guard rebounding. We have to be way up there in the country. If that's even a stat people keep track of, but
yeah, they rebound really well. But you're right. They have that identity. Larry Shea had identity. I'm just going to grind you out for 40 minutes,
which is not enjoyable to watch. Yeah,
It is not, but
it worked.
the kind of way when he had to take over, that's what he kind of built.
Yeah.
And then Sonny was like, I'm just going to run you out of the gym. And somebody posted, because CSU beat Dartmouth by like 20, and they're like, well, how do we compare that?
You can't.
There's not really a comparison, because Dartmouth is
Ooh.
now their second game at altitude. Yeah. They probably have no legs left, because CSU likes to run it. So.
And we were really, really sick that game.
Yeah.
You could tell, too. I mean, the guys were barely moving out there. And some like Gavin Gore's barely played. I don't know how many minutes he got last night, but I know he had a big dunk because they showed the highlight of that. So,
well, they were very sick, but they also played really well.
Well, I don't know if they played really well. They played well enough to
win. Well enough to win. They still scored 80 points or something like that.
Yeah, they fought through it, right? And that's what you want to see is how do you battle adversity? And they battled it because Dartmouth was giving them a run for their money. Yeah. And they stepped through and got it done. So, I guess other things to talk about from basketball would be, let's look at it. I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. Trying to think. We talked about Naz. We talked about the 20, and it talked here about Dennis having a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the third different starting lineup they mentioned. So again, that's just right, having depth and being able to slide guys around based off matchups and your opposition.
Yep.
Which is always good to see. So I guess the big takeaway is, and we keep saying it, and we're going to keep saying it, is get your butt to the AA, because this team is worth. If you can get to watch some bad football, I think you can get to the AA to watch good basketball, right?
It's totally true.
Yeah.
I was just reading the recap from Ryan Thorburn, and he mentioned in there that Gerald Mattinson was also in attendance for this game.
Okay, nice. So,
still hanging around and watching the Pokes.
Former Cowgirl coach.
Yep.
I think I think the crowds will get. It sounds like last night wasn't too bad for the way the weather was.
It was like 3,400.
I didn't see the attendance. Let me see if it's got it in here.
It was like 3,400.
Okay.
I mean, it's creeping, right? It's
yeah.
You got to for 10 years. It's been a funeral home in the AA.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
It's going to take some time. Yeah.
100%.
So take the wins where you can, and I know the wrestling team was there last night promoting their duel coming up as well. So
nice.
I think we're at finals week right now too, right? So probably a little.
Most of the students are probably a lot of guys are probably gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing to me. I don't understand is the students not showing up. It's very odd. And I guess, right, you have to win, I guess, in this day and age, because I guess there's a lot more to do in Laramie than there was when we were around, right? So, I mean, I went to all the games because what else the heck are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, maybe make players go back to classes instead of doing everything online.
Mm-hmm. No, and that helps too, right? Them just being out there and talking to people and getting people to come to the games. True. But I really like the system that they're running, and they should be able to stick with it. Obviously, I think it's going to be very appealing to people, and especially point guards, right? We got Leland Walker from Florida Atlantic. I do believe he's a senior, so he'll need replaced. But I think if you're playing this is the style of ball you're going to play, you're going to have no problem getting in the portal and finding a small school point guard who wants to run. So I think talent-wise, right, it's only going to improve because players want to play this style of ball.
Yeah. It sounds like coaching. They got a great coaching staff. I mean, they got a lot of really good coaches that I think probably helps the system. And somebody's like what Sonny Post, he goes, I'm not waking up to the middle of the night from text messages of players messing up. So he recruited some high character guys as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably a big deal. And maybe that's why maybe the team last year, they were a bunch of turds out on town and people were like, I'm good.
Possible.
So
Like Nick Saban says, nothing good. If you can't do it by midnight, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
There we go. So speaking of Nick
Paraphrasing
Saban,
slightly.
very good. You didn't do that on purpose, of course, but how about I don't know if it was yesterday or was it over the weekend? Ryan Yarbrough inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, and they had a picture today of him giving a speech, and right next to him was Nick Saban. And I tweeted out, "Here's a picture of the GOAT and Nick Saban."
Michael Vick was right next to him too.
Was that Michael Vick? Okay,
Yeah.
the guy looked familiar. Okay, yeah, Michael Vick's pretty dang good too. Just keep him away from your dogs.
I think that was actually today that happened.
Okay, I just saw the
maybe
video
last night.
So really good honor, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to watch the whole thing, but when they were given his intro, and I don't know, did you see who was given the introduction to him?
It was I didn't recognize him, so I'm not sure who it was.
Floyd Little.
Was it?
I think it was, but I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Or it's a Floyd Little lookalike, but I'm like, why is Floyd Little introducing Ryan Yarbrough? Was my question.
We'll have to pull out our fancy AI tool and reverse image searching or something,
and maybe see who it is. But this is what they mentioned, and I didn't know this. So they said when he finished school, obviously he was the all-time leading receiver in the history of college football. But obviously that's been erased. But he still is number one in yards per catch, which blows my mind considering he played in the early 90s when you could still play defense.
When you think about guys that have come along after him that were just insane college receivers, right? Like Tim Crabtree came after him, Randy Moss, Justin Blackmon, guys that put up insane
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson
at Georgia Tech was a machine, and he didn't even have more yards per reception than Ryan Yarbrough.
Yeah.
Nope. He's still in the top 10. I mean, after all these years in this offensive chain, there's still him and Marcus, I think, are the top 10 receiving all time.
Yeah.
I think
and Marcus did it in 3 years.
Well, I think a big thing that plays into college football nowadays is, these guys they don't stick with the same school for very long, and their stats get kind of weird when they transfer, or they just leave early for the NFL.
True. Yeah. Usually wide receivers are like, right, if you're really good, you're a 3-year player.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. So yeah, great to see Ryan Yarbrough finally get in. I'm surprised it took this long. Right. I mean, that's when I first moved to Wyoming. I don't know if he was a freshman or a sophomore at the time, but I mean, Ryan Yarbrough was the star of the team when I moved to Wyoming. And so,
it was really,
that was the guy, man, Ryan Yarbrough.
It was really cool when we were in Atlanta a few weeks ago and, took a trip through the College Football Hall of Fame. And, you walk in and obviously you've got the huge helmet display, of, all 830 some odd college football helmets, up on the wall. But then you go from there to upstairs, and as soon as you get upstairs, the whole, 2025 inductee section was just right there at the top of the stairs. And so, it was the whole list of, Saban and Kleinsasser and Vic, and, right in between them was Ryan Yarbrough. And it's like, wow, this rocks, just having that, old Wyoming jersey up there, right in front of you.
Yes, and those are still the best. We should switch back to those uniforms.
Oh yeah.
They need to have some sort of throwback day.
And ours are, I guess they're kind of close.
What
we're wearing now is pretty close. It just doesn't have the arm stripes.
Yeah.
I want them to go back to the all brown. I want them to bring the all brown back for a game.
No.
Yeah.
Those are ugly. No.
The old all brown. The old ones. 2006 Border War. They were
2006 Border War?
We wore all brown. Okay.
All brown, yeah.
You say so.
So
I don't remember it.
I liked them, yeah. It was old school. Or bring back the Jay Novacek where the gold helmet and the brown horse.
Yeah. Those are interesting.
Shea probably liked the Prairie Gold too.
Yeah, oh God, no.
Maybe.
I could think of nothing worse.
Let's see. Drew's here. This is a basketball comment, but we'll take it. The reporter called Wyoming the best secret in the MSA and top 100 of the net rankings. Which reporter? There's a lot of them out there.
I wonder if one of those Ken. It might have been Ken Palm.
No, I think I saw him talking to. Was it Mossaman What's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Who was it, Drew? Was it that guy? I forget his name.
I think they should have been. Yeah, they should be
saw
higher
Drew.
than that now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as you keep winning, right? So we'll see. But football-wise, what I wanted to get into, boys, was Sports Illustrated. Okay, interesting. I forgot Sports Illustrated was still around because didn't they like technically went bankrupt, right? And they're going to close down, and then like the boomers started going crazy, and
well, they came out with like what that Maven that was associated with like Sports Illustrated, where like all those like fan sites were basically taking over Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Yes, fan sites suck. I mean, why would you follow a fan site?
Especially losers like that. Oh wait, what?
But Wyoming is currently looking for an offensive coordinator. I can't believe that there's like no coverage of this at all until today, I guess. So if anybody is watching and you have a comment, if you've read the article, it's behind the paywall. I had some people send me the names, but I asked the question like, hey, was this like a speculation? Was this a wish list? Or is this like people that they're actually hearing that they're trying to talk to? Maybe Drew knows. Ranted on X this morning. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. But for the OC search, there are some names that the Casper paper put out. But again, I don't know the context, so I don't know if I want to talk about it. Do either of you know the context of the article?
Yeah, no? I don't know. And the names on there, I was like, there's no way.
They're kind of crazy. I mean, we can go through them if you want, but I'd rather not. I'd rather just talk about a wish list of like, what do we want to see? And again, I'm right. It's easy media. People should be writing about this stuff. Even on our message board, we don't have it. I think people are just, they're sick of football and they want to break. That's what I'm going to put it down to.
I mean, people are obviously like just throwing out there like, you know, names that they like to see. Some of them are just completely insane, and some of them are just like Jonathan Smith, completely insane. But
I'm talking about qualities. So when I say a wish list, I mean qualities. So what qualities, what background do you want to see in this OC hire? You want me to go through my
somebody
list?
outside the coaching tree.
Yes, that would be good. And so we've talked about this when they hired Johnson. That's why I knew Johnson was going to be hired, because he was about the only one that Savell coached with who was still around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's pretty much the only other person who Savell has coached with offensively who would take the job, I think, is a guy by the name of Brian Anderson, who is he was the running backs coach at K-State. I don't know if he's going to continue to be, since they had a coaching change there with Chris Kleiman retiring. And was it Colin Klein coming in, former K-State quarterback? So I don't know. So that could be an answer. That's something to keep an eye on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's never been an OC, but he's been a running back coach, and he's worked at Savell for a few years at some schools. So again, that's the only guy. The only other people he's worked with offensively are like currently head coaches, like in the FCS or like Division II. So I don't think they would come to Wyoming to be the OC in that case. So he has to hire from outside of his branch, which is good.
Say a D2 coach, you could probably talk into coming up for a pay raise.
Yeah, maybe, but you would get slaughtered, I think, if you made that hire. And it doesn't fit my thing. So my first wish list here is recent FBS success, right? It can't be like Jay Johnson. This guy was good 10 years ago at Louisiana, or he was good 3 years ago when he had 9 NFL players, right? I mean, he had a good year at Michigan State. They had wide receivers and that running back all went pro, right? Same thing like when Wyoming was good, right? We had Josh Allen and we had Brian Hill and we had
Tanner Gentry.
Hollister, Gentry. Yeah, we had, 4 or 5 guys who either played in the NFL or were on training camps. And that helps, right? I mean, talent can overcome coaching. So, and maybe that's what we need to focus on. But again, it's hard in this day and age to develop a team like we did back then. So recent FBS success is a must. 2 for me would be a coach who has a philosophy but not a system. Because a system means, right, that I need this type of player at this position, this type of player at this position. You need to be able to be flexible and run your philosophy, but adapt it to the players that you have on hand. So your thoughts on those first two, I guess.
Yeah, I think those are fair. I think you could also lump in recent FCS success for an offensive coordinator. I mean, you could look at those guys and find an offensive coordinator or
that could work. I agree.
Program, an FCS that would, if you looked at just throwing out like a Tarleton State type team, they have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah.
Maybe like a UC Davis type of team or whatever. But I think there's potential out there for some FCS coordinators that could move up and do the same job.
Perhaps, and that's what we may end up with, right? Because again, it's going to be a tough position to fill.
I mean, you're not looking for an FCS guy to come in and be the head coach, right? No. There's pretty mixed results on, FCS coaches moving up and being successful. Some do, some don't. Like everything else in life, I suppose. But I think at a coordinator spot, you've got a little bit better chance of success.
Sure. What do you think, Shea?
I guess you could talk about philosophy, but if the offensive coaches don't buy into it either, it's just not the players. It is baffling to me that it feels like we're just going to run back the same staff we had last year.
No, I agree. Thanks, Drew.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I was kind of floored when they asked Savell if he expected any more changes, and he said no. Now, I should have asked a follow-up well, if you hire a new OC, is he going to be able to come in and say, hey, right, evaluate the staff? But I agree. This may not work if the new OC comes in and he has to coach with the same offensive staff who have put in two of the worst offenses in the history of Wyoming football, right?
Maybe that's why Savell hasn't let any offensive staff go. If he had his druthers, maybe he would, dismiss whatever coaches, but maybe, he's waiting to make a hire and then let that coach.
That's what I'm hoping.
Recommendation.
Because that would make sense, right? So I hope that's the case. But whoever the new OC is, he's got to be able to bring in his people. And Savell's just got to let him do his thing. Because we can't do what we've done the past 2 years. Because, again, this is his career is on the line. He'll never be a head coach again if he gets fired in Wyoming. He may go to another school and be a good defensive coordinator. That's very possible. But head coach, he's done. And I want him to do well because I agree that, like a lot of people said, if he had success here, I think he would stick around. So I'd like him to be good, but but there's no proof so far, right? Well, 2 seasons, there's no proof.
But I think there's room for a little bit of optimism here because he did stick with Aaron Bull after last year and let him get another year under his feet, and it paid dividends this year.
Sure.
And he recognized, maybe not soon enough, but he gave Jay Johnson a chance this year. Didn't work out. Let him go with the OC with 3 or 4 games left. So yeah, he identified a problem, not as quick as people like us would have wanted, but he did make that choice. So
yeah,
he did. Yeah, he replaced the DL coach also. So everything starts up front, and we can't just say, hey, we're going to bring a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback in, and think this is great. Tripodi was the offensive coordinator with Peasley, and if it wasn't for Peasley's legs, Wyoming might have given up 57 sacks that season. They gave up 26 sacks with Peasley as the quarterback. That's baffling to me. So you can't say that this guy is crushing it and it's recruiting, because everybody's going to recruit offensive linemen. You're not going to hit home runs like you did with the Johnsons of the world and the Ellers. That's probably not going to happen in the offensive line.
Not in
the trends to me.
Yeah.
The trends to me say Tripodi, this is exactly what you're getting out of him.
And you did. Did you post it on the forum Shea, I know you looked at his Tripodi's history is the longer he's out of school, the worse they get. Is that basically the idea?
Yeah.
In terms of sacks and rushing yards?
If the guys like him, that's only part of it. But
yeah,
I love watching the offensive line. I can't sit here and say for 10 years we had great offensive line coaches, because we did. A couple of them are coaching the NFL, a couple of guys are coaching the Big Ten. This guy hasn't been. He's the only offensive lineman in the coach in like the past 20 years that hasn't been poached for Wyoming that's any good. He's never moved on, and it's year 5 with him. I just don't. I don't see it.
Yeah. So it's something to think about for sure. So we'll see what happens. I think timeline wise, we basically have like 10 days before they got to make a hire, because then you're in the holidays, right? And you want people to be with their families, but he needs to be able to be in his office, right? Spending time with your family in the holidays, but then right when Christmas is over, you need to be prepping portal.
Yeah. And so, I mean, a lot of these coaching searches too kind of hinge on the AFCA conference, which I believe happens sometime in January or February.
You can't wait that long.
Can't wait now.
Well, yeah, you won't with your offensive coordinator for sure, but if you're looking for position coaches,
those can wait in some cases.
Yeah,
but in some not, because I mean the whole portal is just making everything move quicker.
Yeah, so, I probably should look. I'd like an OC to bring his stat. I mean, I want Javon to stay as a wide receiver. I think wide receivers have taken a big leap with Javon as the coach, but beyond that, and I'm a big Shannon Moore fan, but I just haven't really seen it from the tight ends lately, and maybe time for a lot of people to have just new starts somewhere. I would rather see an OC bring a couple of guys with him, not just players, but with some coaches.
Yeah, and that's what Wyoming needs, right? And maybe, so we'll see. As I said, basically, I would expect a hire within the next 10 days. And if we don't have one in the next 10 days, then that's going to be pretty concerning. Because exactly, if you want a guy who's going to be able to bring coaches and more importantly, bring a couple players with him, it's got to happen here before Christmas. So, but it's all quiet, just right. So we'll see. It's just going to come out of the blue. I don't know. Will be interesting to see who pops it first. It will be a local media guy, or is it going to be like Pete Thamel says, Wyoming hires Joe Blow as OC.
If it's from like the fun, I was looking up pay today. Like a Fun Belt offensive coordinator makes $250,000 less than Wyoming's OC has.
Mm-hmm.
So you could hire away from one of the better football conferences if people wanted the pay raise.
James Madison, where are you at?
Yeah,
that guy got hired at UCLA. I just read earlier today.
Yeah,
the head coach, he brought his staff with him, I assume, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't heard that here. They have billboards everywhere for James Franklin, even down in the Hampton Roads for Virginia Tech right now. So everybody gave up on James Madison.
I read that the OC for James Madison is going to UCLA with the coach.
Oh, here's a name then. Philip Montgomery for offensive coordinator.
Who's that?
He was the OC at Virginia Tech. He was the interim coach. So he was the Tulsa head coach too. Brett Fry got fired 3 games into the year. He just got rehired as a defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech.
That's crazy. Did that go through? I heard that. Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
And then the offensive coordinator was Philip Montgomery, took over, but Phil Montgomery coached at Tulsa.
I remember now that you mentioned the name. Yeah, he's a good head coach down there.
He's around. I mean, he's free.
Is he an offensive guy, right?
Yeah, big time offensive guy.
Okay.
So, I mean, never know.
Yep. Let's see. Clint says, who and why would you hire? Yeah, I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know what waters we're fishing in. It's a tough one.
I wonder.
We were just talking about qualities, what we'd want to see in a next offensive coordinator, like experience-wise and profile-wise. Because we could name
a younger guy too. I like a younger guy.
A younger guy, maybe. And we've done that, right? But again, it's got to be a younger guy who's done it before. It's not.
I'm not talking.
Not hire Marcus Arrojo when he's, how old was he? 27 or whatever when we hired him.
He was young.
Yeah.
I think he's out there, isn't he? Marcus Arroyo.
No thanks.
He's out there somewhere.
No thanks.
Wasn't it like San Jose State last year? I think he was.
That's a good question.
Yeah, look it up. I think he was at San Jose State.
They fired a bunch of offensive staff too.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford him anymore.
Or is he at Arizona or something crazy like that?
It might be ASU. It's kind of hard to tell.
That's right. He was, remember?
State? He's with Dillingham?
Yeah, he's with Dillingham at Arizona State.
Nice.
So no, probably not going to get him.
No.
He can follow Sam Levitt in his $3.2 million NIL.
There we go. Sam Levitt and Arroyo gun Wyoming confirmed.
I was going to say, one thing that'd be a fun thumb in the eye to the Pac-12 is the Texas State offensive coordinator, Landon Keppel.
We could afford him.
Yeah, and he was an OC at Hawaii, UIW, and Texas State. So
we'll see. I'm going to be fascinated to see, right, who Savell has got a connection with, or has got a connection with somebody he knows, right? Because it's going to be, you don't just hire somebody out of the blue. You know somebody who likes the guy, and so it's all about relationships and networking. So, see, Clint says, going to be tough with the restrictions and 7 wins over the last 2 years. May have to be an old guy. Maybe. Yeah.
There'll be somebody out there looking for a pay raise.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no
Clint,
idea.
I don't know if you just dialed in. A Sun Belt offensive coordinator makes $150,000. At Wyoming, they make $400,000. So Wyoming can afford a lot of people.
It's true if you just want to come for a pay raise. But again, you're coming for a pay raise knowing that there's probably, I'd say, a 60 to 70% chance you're going to get fired next fall. So, but right, that's coaching for you, right? I mean, you got to bet on yourself sometimes.
I'm just trying to think like what FCS team would be like a good offensive team, but also could bring like a quarterback with him.
There's not. Mercer's guy just got hired away, so he's out. Mercer had a good quarterback.
I think Mercer's quarterback hit the portal too.
Yeah, the Presbyterian quarterback was good. Those guys don't have scholarships. They won 10 games. Hell, bring that offensive coordinator if we can win.
Yeah, I mean, I know people are talking about the Youngstown State quarterback.
He was good.
I mean, because that guy got fired, I think. So I don't know if that's good if you want to hire a guy who just got fired.
If you watch the Youngstown State Yale playoff game, you can see why he got fired.
Yeah,
I think he was scapegoated for sure. There was a lot of problems in that game.
Yeah,
like letting Yale come back from that kind of deficit was career limiting move for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see. So I don't know. We could hear something this week. We just know that Savell said that he was interviewing a guy last week, and then this week a guy was coming to Laramie, I do believe. So sometimes these things happen quick, right? You find the guy who clicks, and you got to hire him because you can't. I'm sure a lot of you are following all the college football assistant coach news. You know, 1 minute you hear this coach is going to this school, and then 2 hours later he's being hired by a school on the opposite coast. So, I mean, it's just speeding things up because people know that they got to get guys in so they can start scouting and start recruiting players that they coached, and then portal and everything. So it's a silly system, and we'll talk about the silly system. I think after portal season, we'll have some times to. You know, we'll have some like commissioner of college football episodes where we fix college football, but we're at where we're at, you know, for better or worse.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick peruse of Football Scoop to see if they had anything on the coordinator search.
I'm on Football Scoop like every 2 hours.
Yeah, Football Scoop. Football Scoop is such a great resource.
I could ask message board genius. I bet you that they could run something to scrape message boards.
There we go.
The news he drops is relatively accurate from some of those message boards.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, what?
Oh, I was gonna say Rolovich was in the running for the job at Coastal Carolina, but it doesn't look like he's for that anymore.
No, I think the Missouri State coach. took that job. So.
And they had Rolovich in the mix at Sacramento State too. That
Bring him as OC.
Rolo.
That doesn't quite fit what we want to do, I don't think. So, run first offense is what we want. So, I think that disqualifies him right off the bat.
The anti-Rolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if somebody gets hired here in the next few days, we'll be back to talk about it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we will monitor that situation. I think the next basketball game is Saturday at the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, or no? It's not Saturday. Is it Monday then? Can someone look up?
Yeah.
Look up when. Oh, it can't be. Yeah, no, it would be because they're doing. I think it is.
It's a neutral site game.
Yeah, at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
The Pentagon in
Sioux Falls.
What is it? Sioux Falls. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Against South Dakota State. We're now playing the Jackrabbits after beating the Yotes. So we're going for the South Dakota sweep.
Does that mean we get to take territory if we win?
Maybe, yeah. We should have a small territory trophy.
You'll have to fight Montana for it though, since if they beat the Yotes this weekend in football, then we would get claim up here to South Dakota. So
no, they don't play till Monday.
Okay, so it's Monday night. Great. So Monday night.
And that's the last game before break, right, Shea?
Yeah, they don't. Well, no, they play the 20th against Grand Canyon. They come.
Then they open up conference play. Yep, against the Lopers. So it's cool. Yeah. So Monday. So yeah, we'll be back probably next week to talk basketball. And if there's a football hire, we'll be there sooner than that. So, and we'll have the wrestling, the Penn State duel to talk about too next week. So lots of stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, some interviews coming up too. So.
Oh, great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So make sure you head on over to WyoNation.com, partake in the message boards with your fellow Wyoming fans. And we appreciate all of you watching the show, supporting the show.
Can we put an administrative note out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
So Chad mentioned at the beginning of the show, you can always like and subscribe and watch us on YouTube, but we finally got our act together and got our podcasts available out on the streaming services. So you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, Google.
Mm-hmm.
So basically anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find us. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. I don't know what Brian.
Oh no.
Brian's going to have to defend himself on that one. I'm not going to throw him under the bus completely
right now. Yeah, he's going to suntan right now.
So.
So wherever you if you can't make our live show that we host every week or don't want to watch us on YouTube, head out Spotify, Apple, and catch us there.
Audio only. Yep. And
audio only.
And I guess if for some reason your podcatcher of choice doesn't have us on there yet, we'll probably post it on the blog. We'll post the RSS so you can plug that into whatever you use. But we got all the major platforms, but if I know some people got some weird ones. So if you can't find us, it's under WyoNation Round Up, I do believe is the name of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some reason you can't find it, head on over to the website and we'll throw up the RSS link, and then we'll have links to all the other platforms for easy subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll work on that this week to get that up for everybody. So good, Brad. Good for mentioning that. We did mention it on the post-game show on Saturday, but a different crowd tonight, a big crowd on Twitter. Some good numbers there. So thank you for joining us. Again, as always, we appreciate you all. Glad to talk some Wyoming athletics. And so until next time, go Pokes, and we'll see you all real soon.